Serving Central New York for 50 years. News Channel 9, the local station.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Carr, and this is 9 News. The State Transportation Department has formally given up plans to widen a stretch of interstate highway on the Onondaga Indian Reservation at Nedrow. The department today signed an agreement to permanently abandon plans for the disputed third lane, which Indians have protested for months. A statement signed by the department's regional director, Earl Towson, said that the state would halt legal action brought previously against the Onondagas. But the accord affects only the 4,000-foot portion of Route 81 that was to be widened. It does not prevent further state construction on the reservation. However, it provides that the state will seek advice and consent of the Indians before any major work.
Channel 9's new Eyewitness News team. Join them weekdays at 6 and 11 p.m. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News with anchorman Solon Gray, weather analyst Steve Newman, and sportscaster Frank Hudson.
Steve and I were just talking about space and some of the things that are happening up there. Pioneer 11 is the satellite that's going to be re-aimed by the space
scientists to take a look at Saturn, see something we've never seen about its surface. Just seeing the rings and really nothing underneath its dense atmosphere. I always get excited when you see things men have never seen before. Kind of lose the thrill after you've seen men walk on the moon. Here's something you don't see every day. I don't know why I'm doing this. Here's a satellite view of Europe we got this evening from our NOAA 3 satellite. It's a new satellite. It didn't pass over the United States tonight, so I couldn't give you a good infrared picture of the United States. But here's England, and you can see it's raining over London and up through Scotland. And most of Spain is clear down the Gibraltar. The Rock of Gibraltar's got some clouds over top of it. Italy's got a few clouds down in the boot. And Sicily, it's raining a little bit there. I don't know why you'd care to know about that unless you're planning a visit there tomorrow. By then, that weather'd be gone anyway. What we're concerned with now is the United States, and a cold front that came down through us today gave us a little bit of clouds, really not much to talk about, but did get windy and a little chilly, and it stayed chilly, and temperature's going to get down this morning to about the 32-degree mark.
Meet Channel 9's new Eyewitness News team. Anchorman Solon Gray, 22 years as a television newsman. Sportscaster Frank Hudson, knowledgeable, dedicated, aggressive. Weather analyst Steve Newman, experienced, competent, a complete weatherman. Switch to the new Eyewitness News team, weekdays at 6 and 11 on Channel 9.
9 News, with anchorman Rod Wood, Stu Kellogg with the weather, and Jim Rose on sports.
Good evening. Special Deputy Attorney General Peter Andreoli today revealed the names of 3 high-ranking county officials, all of them Republicans, indicted in connection with a probe of alleged political corruption in Onondaga County.
Former Beatle John Lennon and his artist wife Yoko Ono made their way to Syracuse to begin preparation for Mrs. Lennon's first One Artist show. In a brief press conference at Hancock Airport, Yoko Ono explained why Everson Museum was selected for the 3-week exhibition.
I like this gallery, the museum, very much. It's a beautiful building. I think I'm very lucky to be able to have the whole museum to myself, to express myself. And I couldn't think of any other museum that's good as this museum. It really is a beautiful museum.
This is your first one-woman show. What does this mean to an artist?
Oh, it's really exciting. It's really great.
It's not her first one-woman show. She's had many gallery shows. She's had performances at Carnegie Hall, Albert Hall in the past of her music, her composition, all kinds of things, which I'll give you the handout on. Syracuse offered her the place. There has been talk with the other New York museums, but the terms weren't as agreeable as this. Since this show's gone underway, we've had offers from Washington, Chicago, even we even got an offer from what's that place, Las Vegas, to put it where Presley was singing. I mean, that might be interesting, right?
I think that's beautiful.
It's an interesting idea, but there's been offers from many other museums since this show's been underway.
Is Syracuse a test place for your art?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I think every show is very important, and this is especially important because this is my first museum show.
What is the Marketplace? Well, it's a new live TV variety show. It'll feature interview, talk, and music, plus some interesting people. Good morning, Monday. Here she is, Miss Connie Francis. Connie? Hi, dear, how are you?
What great music. How apropos. Dun, 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 dun.
Nobody's sure Italian with the name Captain
Everyone thinks I'm Swedish.
Joni, what do you think of the rating system? Is it warranted, is it necessary, or is it even working?
Well, it's definitely not working. They're in the process of revising it right now. There's to be a revision out sometime in the month of October.
Someone once said they saw a film that was so sick it was rated RX.
Not bad.
It's the newest thing in living. It's a waterbed. Is there anything you'd rather not be than an actor?
No, really. I think that because it encompasses all the creative arts. I paint, I play the piano, I write, I've scored several motion pictures. I have my talent towns for the children.
Ricky, thank you so much for dropping by. You really
Fine, great.
Is that got a name?
I don't know what I'm doing.
That's what it's called. You don't know what you're doing? Welcome to the club. I'm going to predict you, Rudy.
Ladybug in the garden, with a gate that's open wide. Ladybug wants to see you, so why not skip inside? There's scarecrows leave you, oh, Mr. Shimmy Sue, folks that have plenty of fun. So hurry to Ladybug's garden, she's waiting for everyone.
I am waiting for you, and this is a lovely way to begin the day. Well, little Billy Goat, my goodness, he's happy in the garden. I thought somebody was teasing. Oh, there is a kitten, kind of a big kitten. Hi, Chucky.
Hi.
Hi, Suzanne.
Hi.
Have you been having fun with the kitten? Where does the sun go on a cloudy day? It simply hides behind the clouds. It doesn't go away. Where do the raindrops come from in the sky? The raindrops come from big wet clouds, way, way up high. In winter, where do all the daisies go? Are they sleeping underneath the snow? What makes all my tears? What happens when I cry? Where do all my tears go when my eyes are dry? Another question. Where do the streams run to so merrily?
Eli and Ann are in Syracuse. They're performing in Twice Around the Park. It's written by Murray Shiskel, an old friend of theirs.
About a month and a half in Israel making a movie on Golda with Ingrid Bergman. At the same time, I was in the Utah State Prison.
What did you do?
But we were shooting a film about the Executioner's Song, about Gary Gilmore. And while you're doing that, you may work 20 minutes in a day. The rest of the day, you sit around and wait.
Why do we need snakes?
Well, all animals, of course, are important to the ecological balance of nature.
You know.
Do you play any disco music?
Do you play any disco music?
What kind of music is that? I call my music folk music. So much of my music I wrote myself. Well, practically all of it. I just play my songs, what I write mostly.
Tell us about the production of Sesame Street.
I did a test with Oscar the Grouch in the can. And I found it very hard not to talk to the guy down in the can with the puppet, because I could see him very clearly, whereas, of course, the camera could only see Oscar. And it took quite a bit of concentration to, you know, remind myself, well, I'm talking to this green thing coming out of the cans. But eventually, you know, each of the characters on Sesame Street, each of the Muppet characters, begin to take on a real character and personality that is unique in each case, and you really begin to relate to them very much like you would to people.
You may have read in a number of interviews that Little Richard has now become an evangelist, and if you have not read about it, you're going to hear about it today on this morning's Open Line. Little Richard is a former rock and roll star, and I'm sure a lot of people out here are familiar with him. Now at the height of your career, I think you've been out of show business now about 5 years, you've converted to evangelism. Why the turnaround?
Well, you know, I've made a lot of money, and I was making a lot of money, $10,000 an hour. I've sold millions of records, and after traveling all over the world many times, I became a drug addict. You know, I was telling the reporter the other day that, you know, when I met the Beatles, when the Beatles was with me, when they left Liverpool with me and went to Hamburg, Germany at the Star Club, where they started in the business with me, they was making $50 a week per person. When Jimi Hendrix was my guitarist and Billy Preston was my pianist at the age of 14, I didn't drink or smoke at that time. Joe Tex was with me, I didn't drink. But in the later years, I had a guy in my group that introduced me to some marijuana. You know, someone would say, try it, you'll like it. A little dab would do it. I got my little dab, but it didn't do it. And I just started getting high and high and high. I went from marijuana to angel dust.
Something else that is always controversial, and that's not just here in the Syracuse area, but all over the country, and that's about teen parenting. You were a teenager. You said Juanita was 16. You were, I guess, were 17 when Little Ray was born. What advice or what experiences can you share with me and the viewers about being a teen parent?
Well, I think a lot of things happen as far as young ladies getting pregnant at a very early age. I would really suggest that the two are really sure about what they get into or get involved in, whether or not it's going to be a career or just a one-night type situation. I mean, you have to be realistic about it. Juanita and I, we loved each other, and people ask me, they say, how can Little Ray be 7 years old and you just been married a year? I mean...
They can figure it out.
Yeah, but...
Family's always there when you need them. Your family's always there when you call. They're always there to guide you. They'll always stand beside you. Your family never lets you down at all. So come on home to your family. We're waiting just for you. Just for you. We'll tell you what's been going on and everything that's new. Come on home to your family. We're waiting for you. Keep coming home to Eyewitness News. Come on home to your family. We're waiting just for you. Just for you. We'll tell you what's been going on and everything that's new. Come on home to your family. We're waiting for you. Keep coming home to Eyewitness News.
Serving Central New York for 50 years, News Channel 9, the local station.